everybody, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here. I hope you're all well. So before I start, just a quick apology. There was no video yesterday. Don't go looking for it. It's not there. I am sorry. I just wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I got a bit of a chest infection, I think, and I was just so tired. So tired. Probably the bowling at lunchtime because it was my son's birthday yesterday. Thank you to all of those of you that have put messages on our social media wishing Dan a happy birthday. He did have a lovely day, thank you. Although Mummy did thrash him at bowling. I'm sorry, I refuse to just let my children win games. I think it's character building for them to learn the hard way. He did get his first strike yesterday though, so see, the killer instinct is kicking in. Anyway, moving on. Those of you that have been following me for some time will know how important to me family is. And one thing that I am very proud of with my family is that we have a great, rich history and store of our family history and things that come with that. Now, I know I've heard from a lot of you lately. A lot of you have tins like this one here, not Belgian chocolates. Actually, they were biscuits, but tins full of these wonderful goodies. Now, the one thing I will say about my family is we're very good at holding on to the important stuff, but not so great at communicating, because in actual fact, throughout COVID, I had started collecting my own collection of vintage ephemera to utilise, because I was starting to create digital kits and one another. And it wasn't until about 18 months after I'd started my collection that one day Dad said, "Oh, you don't realise, do you? I've got loads of photographs and cabinet cards and, you know, documents and things that you could have scanned in the filing cabinet in my office, do you?" And I was like, "No." How old am I? How long have you known me? Why do I not know this? So then spent the next 6 months trawling through this great hoard of things that Mum and Dad have got there. So I haven't yet had the opportunity to scan and edit all of this stuff through, mainly because my printer's been playing up and life has just gotten in the way. So you won't be seeing any of these images that are in front of you just yet. They're not far behind though. I must just point out, this is Bella, this is my mum. Doesn't she look lovely? That's my grandfather. And this is my dad. Clearly not the same age at the time. But let me just clear all of this out the way because I have something very special to show you all. On the back of all the messages that I've had from you all, and I've actually had a few face-to-face conversations with people locally lately saying that they want to make journals to store all of their family ephemera, their family history things in. So it got my mind thinking, and I thought, how nice would it be to make a kit that people could use to store their family ephemera in? So you would be able to make a journal that was specifically tailored to that kind of collection, should we say, and it would, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Complement whatever you had to put in. So I've been working on a kit. It is a little late. I have been working on it for some time. In fact, if you spoke to my design team, they actually laid eyes on this. I think back in January I started it, and then I have my butterfly brain moment and something caught my eye and off I went. And my girls were very patiently sat waiting as they were chomping at the bit to crack on with it. But no, I knew that there were elements I wanted to add to it. And what I've actually done is I created a Welsh family ancestry kit. So this is your first peek at our new kit. The kit is called a teulu, and a teulu means the family in Welsh. So I have put the English translation on there for you, just so that you know what it means. But that is the name of the kit, and I wanted to stick with the Welsh theme. So there are elements of Welsh language throughout. Anything that I've written in Welsh, I've mostly also translated for you to know what you're working with in English. But basically, I wanted to build a bit of a story behind it. So I did speak to my design team quite a bit about this, and I asked for their input because it's quite a personal thing to make, really, and you need to know where people are going to come at it from. And one of the design team girls did say, you know, she likes to feel that there's some history behind something when she's doing something like this. So I have built this family. The photographs that you will see did all come from a family. They came from a family in mid-South Wales, near Barry. and the father was actually, I believe, something to do with, there is a link there with the local police station, but I'm not quite sure who in the family was the police officer, and how far back that went. But that is where their links are. So the Porthcawl, Barry, Southern Down kind of area. So down on the you know, the near the coast. But I'm just going to show you the pages and see what you think. So that's our title page. You'll recognise that. You'll probably see that if you come across the kit. I have designed a cover. If you wanted to use that as your cover, you have that there. So just fold that in half, front and back. Obviously your covers are going to be slightly thicker, so I would cut and then stick that on, but we'll come back to that later. So that's the first page. Then what I have done is I have designed a few pages with cabinet cards set in. You'll see I've added little bits of old tape. And I've also added some little elements of just different things that I felt might have been their interests, you know. So you've got some seamstress scissors here, a little vase there. He's got a light bulb. I can't quite see what that is there, but it was a label for something to do with medicine, I think. So this is Tadki and this is Mamgi. Now these are actually grandparents, because that means grandfather and that means grandmother. Okay. This family then also has 4 lovely daughters. So this is Gwenllian, this is Rhiannon, and again they have got their writer interests, and you've got a little bit of ink and things here. So they are sisters. And then you have another set of sisters. This is Mavanwi and this is Menye. And again they have their little, you know, interesting thing. Now obviously you can cover over these if you want to, but I have included, which I'll show you in a bit later on, this page without any cabinet cards in there. So this is just to kind of give you an idea, or if you don't have any of your own vintage photographs and you just want to make a lovely vintage album, they're already in there so that you can continue to decorate around them. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. This is just another page then for the kit. I just thought it would be nice to leave some space for you to want, if you wanted to add in then photographs or what have you. Just an idea of how you can lay out your page. This is probably one of my favourite pages actually. I really, really love that page. And then I've also done like a family tree page. So I have sat and put all of these little photographs in. It did take quite some time, and they're all boys. So this is a family now. This is another branch of that family. These are cousins, and they are all sons that they've had there. So how many have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boys. My goodness. But obviously there's space for you to write and things in there. This is the sort of thing that you would have found in the front of an old Welsh Bible. Very traditional here in Wales. Old family Bibles, and they would have had the genealogy of the family written in the front of there. This is another, obviously I'm going to put a collage page in. I know how much you love a collage page. Again, I love this image here, but I've just tried to make it look a bit more, this is out of my depth. Grunge, I've never done a kind of grungy splatchy style before, but I really enjoyed it. Perhaps the next time I might go a bit heavier on it, but it's just giving you some ideas so you can stick your own coffee cups on if you want more rings. And then this is another collage page, and I just felt it was really important to bring in some colour. Now at this point I am just going to point out that all these images I'm showing to you at the moment I have printed on my printer. I've had to use my old printer to do these days because the blinking new one ran out of ink, but that's another story. But I've printed them on and told the printer that I've put in inkjet paper, because I'm actually using 120 GSM, and they've come out really bright and vibrantly. But I wanted to show you what it would look like if you don't put it on a vibrant, because I love this equally as well, and I felt that that really came out very well. And then this was before, my ink was getting a little low there, but that was the first original that I brought it. So looking at your ink settings, this is exactly the same paper, exactly the same printer, and all I've done is adjust my ink settings. So I've told the printer here to print it on inkjet matte paper. That's what it thinks it's doing, so it has spurted out a bit more ink. And on this one here, it's been a little bit more conservative. So I'm just wanting you to see the different ranges of colour and depth that you can get, all depending on how you like your journal. If you want your colours to be quite rich and full, think about your up in the settings on your printing settings. If you quite like, now I probably would go with this because I actually like my colours to be quite, not muted, that's the wrong word, but not discreet, but you know what I'm saying, not kind of like wow off the page at me. So I might perhaps go along with that, or I might use that if I'm using it for the ephemera or something. But I was actually really pleased when these came out like that, because obviously on my screen it looks like this. So yeah, if you're not getting your printed papers to come off as they look when you're buying a digi products from wherever, look at your printer settings. All right, so I just wanted you to, I thought it was important for you to see the differences there. So that's the one set of sides. Then there's a set then of backing papers that I've printed on the back, obviously. So you've got this one here, which has got some grid paper style in it. What's that called? Graph paper, not grid, that's the word. Then there's this one here with some vintage kind of wallpaper look. That's the blank, as I was telling you earlier on. So you can kind of add your pictures and things to that, and you know, but use it as a backing scrapbook paper, backing album page. That's another one there with, I've just blended the first two together, so you've got a bit more of a faded colour on the back of that one. This one here's got some script in it. It's also got some lovely flowers on the side as well. I don't know if you can, is the camera picking that up? I hope so. And a bit of the grid paper again. I'm so sorry about my voice. I know it's annoying. And there's another one there, and that one's a little bit more vibrant with some kind of stripy lines through it. This is another page from the kit. I really, really like this page. You've got a marriage certificate on the background of that one there, and there's a photograph there of a couple getting married, and I've popped a pen and ink on there because obviously they'd be signing the register, wouldn't they? And then I put a little blue envelope behind, just a bit of a splash of colour. And then there's two lovely pictures then here as well. And then that one there again, which obviously I put on the back of that one. So that's your kit pages. There are 14 pages in the kit. It's 14 of those pages. And then we've got ephemera as well. So let's quickly whisk through the ephemera. So these are either journal cards or they can be used as pockets, entirely up to you. So I've done like each member of the family really. So you've got, you know, mum and dad, and then brother and sister. I have done smaller tags with a variety of different backings and things on. I have done a larger set of tags. I thought I did as well. These are larger. I just printed these slightly smaller because I wanted to see how they would come out. But they are actually that size on the file, okay? So you've got two sets of different collaged tags. Then you've got a set of cabinet cards and photographs for you to have a bit of a play around with. Then I've also done a set of frames for you to use. I've put a backing behind them in case you just want to use them as they are, or in case you want to fussy cut and stick something in there, then at least you've got a bit of a background. But we'll have a look at how we can play about with those later on. I've also then done some old-fashioned photo album style backgrounds. And again, I filled in those gaps. So if you wanted to put, you could just put a flower in there if you wanted to, whatever, you know, or a silhouette. Then we've got a set of envelopes. And, you know, I've used these for all sorts of things. I use them as journaling cards. I use them as pockets, all kinds of things. Then we've got another envelope. Now this one I have done so that it can be used this way. This one I have done so that it can be used anyway. So I've popped, you know, like a bit of a map on there, a bit of script on there, but it really doesn't matter which way up you put them. And then last but not least, we have then this lovely page of labels. And what I have done is I have done a row of Welsh and then a row with the English translation underneath. So you'll have the same words. It's entirely up to you which ones you use. I have done all of the different family variations, the different relations. And then, so, you know, you've got husband, wife, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, cousin. And then you've got the grandparents. And then from here onwards, then I've done words relating to the home. And we've got quite a lot of words that describe home. Hiraeth being one of them, which is an unusual word that doesn't really translate. The best I could find to translate was nostalgia. But you might want to Google that word and find out what that means, because you need to read up on that really to understand it. Then Hafod, which is a summer home. My most favourite, I hope I say this right now, is the bwbachod, and they are the house fairies. Now, I don't know about you, but have you ever said to your children, who do you think picks that up? The fairies in the night? Well, in Wales, we have them, and they're called bwbachod. So that's what you call the little fairies that come out and clean up after you at night. I've also put a few other words in there. Carwti means I love you. Hoel, fun, big. Siamai, which is hi. Lush, obviously, that is an English translation, but you know what it means. Da iawn, very good. And then you've got Tibachan, which is a small house. Oh, I could go on all day long. Croesio, welcome. But they're all there. So you've got lots of different words for you to be able to use, and labels. And as I say, there's the English and the Welsh translation. Now, I'm in the middle of working on another kit. It should be ready by the end of tonight. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, so you know what's coming. It is also Welsh. There's no order to these. I am doing a Welsh ephemera kit for you. So I've got loads more of this to come. I'm just finishing up, tidying the images up a minute. What I've then done is put more photographs in for you. You will have these in a variation of sizes. So they'll come in that size. Again, stacks of tickets. These are train tickets, different stations all around Wales. And then you've got these then in a more of a full size. And again, there. And then you've got the tickets in a larger size because I think they're easier to, you know, you'll have options of what you can do with them then. Oh no, that's my misprint earlier because my printer was playing up. So, but that one will be out hopefully tomorrow. So I will show you that in more detail tomorrow. So that's the new kit, guys. I hope you like it. As I've explained, that's my plan of what I want to do. I want us to make ourselves together a family album. Again, if you don't have old ephemera, don't worry. I'll provide you with all of that. I'm going to show you how we put it all together. And we will incorporate this as part of our 100 days project. I wanted to show you the kit. The kit is going up tonight and it will be 30% off for the next few days. You know I like to try and check it out on a bit of an offer for you. So do check that out. It'll be on our Ko-fi page. Also, it'll be on our Etsy page, depending on which you prefer to download from. That's not a problem. Okay, so a quick little challenge for us today for Day 18's challenge for our 100 Days Rad. And I promise you I won't keep you long because I know you've already been watching for a little while now. As you probably know, it's been a birthday in our house this weekend. So as with, I'm sure, any other household that watches here and probably any other crafter, there is now a plethora of brown packaging and Amazon paper in my house. So it was a bit of a toss-up between, do I use it to light the fire this evening? And I thought, no, I'm not. I know what I want that for. So I nabbed it and brought it upstairs to have a play with. So if you do have any brown packaging paper, and I mean the really, this was scrunched up in a ball when I took it out of the box. It was holding a TARDIS safely inside. So what I have done, I've literally just, as you can see, folded it, flattened it out. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to go sticking the iron on it. I don't need it to look that good. But I thought what we'd do, I'm so sorry for coughing, is we would make some strips. And I am going to utilise these now to make some scrappy bits now to go in to my journal, and I'm going to be able to use them then as tucks. I can use them as clusters. I'm even going to see if I can manage to make a pocket out of one. So we'll see what we can do with these shapes, okay, depending on this size. So let's start with these ones first. I've also got a little pot on my desk called Bits and Bobs. This pot was actually inspired by Rachel from Roxy Creations, because I noticed the other day when she was tearing her strips of paper, she had a little bin on her desk, and I was like, oh, why have I never thought of that? So this has been 1 week's worth of collection of off-pole bits, and I'm going to go through this now and see what I can take out of there to use on my scrappy clusters, and I'm sure bits will go back in as I work along. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to try and just get these done as quickly as I can. I'm going to try and perhaps bulk up as I'm going, you know, and we'll mix and match some different things. I've also got some leftover bits from kits. I love this page here out of the spring kit. It's just so cheery, isn't it? And pretty. I love, it's the teal and the pink it is. I don't know what it is about that combination, but everybody I speak to, it's their favourite. Pink and teal. Can't go wrong with that really, can you? No. Right, so let's pop that down there for a minute. And I think I'm going to just tear down here. And then we'll tear that bit there. So yeah, we went bowling yesterday. I said to my youngest, what would you like to do? Obviously, we'd been to the escape room last weekend because we went down to visit his brother. So I took the boys out to do that last weekend. So I was like, right, what do you actually want to do on your birthday? You know, it's only some kids sitting around the house, is there? So he said, oh, well, actually, I just fancy nipping down and going bowling them. So I said, oh, okay, we can do that. So off we went. And as I said, I am quite competitive with everything. And I wasn't doing too badly at the beginning of the first game. And he's still kind of finding his feet with it. But I think to myself, it's no good letting kids have an easy ride. He was learning by watching me because, I mean, I'm very hit and miss. All depends on how my hands are that day. But I was trying to explain to him about finding the right, weight on the ball. The ball can be too light or too heavy. Half-ish sounds like a bowling pro. I'm really not. I was just giving him the benefit of my experience. But it paid off because he ended up getting a strike and a few spares. So I was very proud of him. And he kept going, because I did ask if he wanted to invite a friend. And he was like, actually, Mum, I'm really not that good yet. So I was like, okay, I get it. Let's go practice. But yeah, it was good. He had fun. So that's the main thing. And then we went and had a nice toasted panini then in town and took him to the movie and TV and movies shop that's in our town. And there's all like Doctor Who stuff in there and Marvel stuff, and because he had a lot of Doctor Who stuff for his birthday this year. So, but I was ever so disappointed because I'd ordered him. Well, I'd looked high and I am terrible for this. I'm a bit of a, if I think I can find a deal, I'll keep going until I find a deal, and sometimes then I end up being a little bit not as organised as I should have been because I'm always thinking, oh, I can find that cheap grass way. But I wanted to get him a Lego set. He wanted a Lego set. I know he's mad about his Doctor Who at the minute. And I thought, well, I may as well get him something that's a bit relevant. He'd gone through the Lego store online and find anything else. Well, there is only one Doctor Who Lego set, believe it or not. So I'd gone online and looked, and it isn't in production anymore, I don't think. As with most things with Doctor Who, actually, I seem to spend most of my time looking for stuff that they don't make any longer. BBC need to get their act together because Doctor Who is like huge. I don't know why there's no merch. It's ridiculous. Although they have now been, they've like, what do you call it? They're collaborating. We like that, don't we? They're collaborating now with Disney. Is it Disney Plus? Is that what it's called? It's like a kids Netflix thing, isn't it? So you'll be able to watch now, especially you guys who are in the States, you'll be able to watch Doctor Who, our Doctor Who, on Disney Plus. I don't know whether they're going to go all the way back or whether it's just the episodes going forward, probably. So you're going to have our amazing, he was my first Doctor, actually, David Tennant's my favourite. But of course, he's back, isn't he? So there wasn't a spoiler. Everybody knows. It's okay. Be chilled. And if you don't know, where have you been? So yeah, there's just no merchandise anyway. So I've been looking on eBay to see if I could find one of these TARDIS Lego sets. Well, there's quite a few on there, and of course they put it on, don't they, like a buy it now, rather than you have to do the auction. So, or you can make an offer. So I've made a few offers to people, and they'd like turn me down. I was like, nope, that's my limit. But I stuck at it, and then finally got one. I had a really good offer. I had about £80 off it, because I wasn't going to pay that for a Lego set. I mean, come on, you know. Well, they were asking for it. So the postage on top of it then was like £7. And I was like, what? And I thought, oh my gosh, perhaps if I didn't constantly post things as like my day job, I probably wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But as I do send posts quite frequently throughout the UK as well, I knew that was way overpriced. So I was a little bit like, So then when I looked, it was going to come in time. well, if it didn't, of course, I went to do food shopping on Saturday, left a note on the door. He was actually here, which I was more miffed off about than anything else, and wasn't listening out for the door, and then missed the blinking postman, and he wouldn't leave it because the guy had sent it signed for. I don't know why. I'd left a note on the door as well. Please leave parcel in shed at rear of the property, blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much. And when I was in Asda, getting the food shopping, my most favouriteest task of the week, not, I had a lovely text message to tell me that postman had been, nobody answered the door. So we'd taken it with him to the sorting office, which was now closed until Monday. I was like, oh, wonderful. So not only have I been charged £7 for postage, I've been charged £7 for postage for an item I haven't even received on time. Brilliant. But I suppose at the end of the day, most of that blame probably lies with me because I was holding off for a good deal. So not always a good idea, is it? But thankfully, he was very understanding, bless him. So I was like, this is your big present and it hasn't arrived. I can't believe you didn't answer the door. Sat upstairs with blinking headphones on. Oh, but there we are. So this morning I did a quick dart down to the sorting office. I took him to school and then I was like, right, I was going to go this afternoon, and I came back home and I started doing some more of the kit stuff, getting everything ready. And then I thought, oh, I wonder what time the sorting office shuts. I'll just check. Oh my gosh, good job I did. It was 9:15, I think I looked, and they closed it. They were only open 2 hours on a Monday morning. Again, why? They closed all weekend. So I darted across within the speed limit. Obviously, all you have to is, it's all up and down Dale, and oh, it's crazy. The drive from here to the sorting office is absolutely bonkers. These little twists and turns and down these little side streets, and it's just nuts. But anyway, got there, got the parcel, and it wasn't very big. I thought, well, why on earth you couldn't have left that on Saturday? I do not know. But he's got it now. In fact, I'm not sure if he hasn't finished it already this evening, so he was very pleased coming out of school. So that's made his day. So that's another birthday successfully navigated. We're going to have a bit of a break now. It's a bit bonkers in our family with February and March, because of course you have Christmas, and then it's 6 weeks later we got Valentine's Day, and then a week later is my birthday, and then 3 weeks later is Dan's birthday, and then it's Mother's Day now on Sunday. It is this Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. So I've got to make sure I don't forget. I don't want to be in the doghouse. And then, yeah, no, we have a bit of a break then, because my 2 other boys, Shaw's is July, Rob then is August, and John is September, so I got a bit of... So the next big one then is Mum in May. And then it'll be almost time for our retreat. My goodness. Okay, so I thought I would just skip on ahead a little bit. I've stuck all these down now, and I've tried not to be too uniform about it, because bear in mind, these are not just kind of, I don't want it to just look like usual kind of cluster thing. I'm trying to like build out a little bit from it. So it's kind of like our franking paper, but not quite. So I've got some bits of lace now. I thought we'd add some of those on there. These are a bit grungy, these are too, so these will be perfect. The reason I kind of wanted to get this second kit out now is because my intention for the 100 Days project was, when I'm making things, I like to try and, if I can, show things in different styles, so that whatever you're working on, it helps you then perhaps visualize how it'll fit in with what you're doing in your projects. Whereas if I'm just working with one style of, you know, colours, papers, whatever, if you're not feeling overly inspired at the time, it can be difficult then to kind of visualise how that will work for you. So it's good sometimes to see, oh, Nicky Nocky, no, have I put on the wrong one? I have. It's good sometimes to see alternative ways of doing things. And just different styles and ideas, isn't it? So I want to be able to run the two alongside each other if possible. So now that I'm all kind of caught up, let me just take that edge off there. This stuff is lush, I love it. I'm trying to think where I got it from. It was an unboxing I did last year. Something paper, something. Oh, I'm useless, aren't I? There's a code on my LinkedIn as well for it. Not LinkedIn, my Linktree even. But this came in the second bundle I had from them. Tapeology, something like that. I know I could never say it properly. I think that's it. Yeah, but I had this stuff from there. Nice stuff. Nice site. I struggled a bit sometimes with the prices, but the stuff was very nice. You couldn't argue with that. If you wanted good quality stuff, it was great. But I do struggle recommending stuff sometimes that can be a bit, you know, a bit more than some of us like to pay, perhaps. But then I guess, you know, we buy branded other things, don't we? So I don't know. I like to kind of give if I'm gonna do like a product unboxing, I do like to at least give you things from a different perspective. So if I'm going to do one that's a bit higher end, I also like to do something that's a bit more affordable as well, because then I think, you know, at least then there's something for everybody, isn't there? The only thing I will say about it is it's a bit of a pig to get to stick down, so hence why I pulled out the sticky stuff. Get down there. Right, so that's just to give this a bit of, you know, texture. Right, okay, let's build these up a bit now at the front. So I'm also going to use now some of my tickets. So I've got some Winnie Babbitts ones. I've got some little ones from our Beatrix Potter kit, which I am loving all of the pictures that you've all been putting on. Your work has been amazing. You're also, what's the word I'm looking for? Creative. That's the word I'm looking for, believe it or not. Something as simple as that. Oh my goodness gracious me. I hope my voice comes back tomorrow. I don't know. Everybody else around me might be enjoying the piece. Who knows? It's just tiring, isn't it? When your voice is gone. There we go. Swansea. That's my lad's hometown. I love these tickets because they got really cool numbers on them. I'm going to sit one day and cut the numbers out, I think. Or I might try and kind of like lift them off. But yeah, they're really cool. And that one there's got a signature on it, look. Some really interesting graphics on these. Right, so let's pop those there. Then I've got, what else have we got? Oh, I've got a Peter Wabbit. Let's put him on there, I think. That was the one I stamped. Yeah, let's utilise that one. I can go on there maybe. Let's pop that there like that. And then that, let's take that a bit shorter. I think so. Oh, new events in the Facebook group. I forgot to say, a couple of you were asking about a swap. So what I've done is I've set up a round robin. So basically you go in, if you want to do a swap, I'm sticking to people's countries for the time being. Just keep costs low. It's only a ephemera swap. Stuff that you've been working on with the 100 Days project. The idea is for you to swap 2 items. This is not compulsory. This is only if you want to do a swap, okay? But I know a few people were asking. And guys, please only put your name down if you can commit to it. Because it's just so much time gets taken up when people don't send this stuff. And I'm like messaging around and chasing people about, and then I got poor disappointed crafters who've taken the time and effort to send stuff, and then their stuff doesn't come and you just feel awful, and I feel awful, and it's just not nice. So if you're not going to send your stuff, please don't put your name down and wait until next time, okay? Especially with this one, because it is a round robin. So basically you go into the group, you look for your country's post, because there's a post for each continent I think I've done. Most of the ones that I feel are reflected. If I haven't done one for your continent, shout and I'll put one up. But the people that normally take part, there's a continent there for you. And you've got to write in the comments of the continent. So the person that's above you will say, "Hi, I'm Rachel, and I will swap with whoever the person above them is." And then you'll say, "Hi, I'm Susie, and I will swap with Rachel," which means you'll be sending your parcel to me. And then the next person that comes along will say, "Hi, I'm Joanne, and I will swap with Susie," and they will send their parcel to you. And then the chain goes on until we finish. There is a cap off. Sorry, I think it's Friday. Sorry about that. I think the cap is Friday. And then person who's last, I will get the first person whose name was put down to send to them. So it will be complete. Okay, all right, sorry about that. I had to I had to go off and have a good cough. So I got those done really quickly then. What I do want to do now is just put some of our Welsh words on there now, because these scenes are all depicting kind of family scenes. So I'm just gonna put down there a minute. So we're gonna have Mamgi for this lady here, because she looks like the grandmother. And then for this one here, I think I'm going to use cwtch. For those of you who don't know what a cwtch is, cwtch means two things in Welsh. You can have a cwtch, which means you're cwtching something away, you hide in it. You can have a hidey hole. Or it means a hug, but it's a Welsh hug. It's a real proper hug, you know, a big bear hug. Only the Welsh do cwtches. What else are we going to have here? Oh, here we are. We'll have a cosy home. A cartref clwyd. Cosy home. We'll put that one on that one there, I think. With those little bunnies. Because they look very cozy there. Probably in the centre of a tree somewhere. Doesn't matter where your home is. As long as it feels cozy. And then we'll have... Let's put Crafty on for that little baba. Just realised that's the only word I haven't put on there. In the whole family, if I didn't put baby. That was silly, Rachel. I shall have to put that out on a freebie now, won't I? There will be more Welsh words. I've got a huge list of them done ready. I just got to find a reason now to put them out. I can't just release a list of Welsh words, can I? It's got to have a theme, you know me. All right, what about Peter? What should we have for Peter? Oh, da iawn. He's very good, isn't he? I think he's been very good. Yeah. I'll give him da iawn. There we are. Right. Okay, a little tiny bit of ink on these. And then they will finish these off rather nicely, I think. Here we go, Peter. So you've all learnt some words now tonight, guys. I don't know, we'll have you all speaking Welsh by the end of the month. Even me. I can't speak Welsh. I wish I could. It's one of my biggest frustrations. They didn't teach it in schools when I was in school, you see. They have to do it now. My boys hated every minute of it. And I'm like, oh, dear me, if only I could have had it as a lesson in school, I would have loved it. I find it very frustrating not being able to speak the language of my country. But there we go. Mamgi, there she is. My mother'd have 40 fits if I started calling her. Where's Mamgi? Right. Cozy home. Gone to see their mum for a cwtch. There we are. Peter is being da iawn. He's being very good. Let's put that there, I think, because I want a bit of pink to come through from behind. And then we've got our little baba. We love her. So we'll say, Crafty, love you. Tween Crafty, I love you. There we go. Very nice. I like them. Right, where's my little book? Oh my gosh, if you could see the state of my desk, I'm sure you can imagine. I'll show you also the photograph in my in the group the other day. What have I done with my journal? Oh my gosh, that's not a good statement to be making, is it? That's not a sentence you ever want anyone to be saying out loud. Where's my journal gone? I genuinely... Oh, there it is. Such a funny way of reading glasses on. I couldn't see it over there. Right. So, let's have a quick look. Now, you can stitch or not. Entirely up to you. All dependent on, you know, what you've got there. Resources and all. Oh my gosh, my desk needs to clean, doesn't it? Gluey ink on there. Right, let's just lay this down like straw. So don't end up with any glue on the back of my book. Right, because that would never do. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, these nice big long ones here, we can pop those in. Oh, don't they look marvellous? I think they look fab. Right, you'll have to be my little tuck spot. Here we go, look. So we'll have a nice, you can glue it across the bottom if you want to then, and it's a perfect pocket. I like it. Okay, right. I think this one is possibly going to be the same because I can't see it going. Yeah, so we'll probably do the same with that one there. And I did put that bit of lace up thinking it might, yeah, look, if I have a bit of lace hanging off the edge, it can, you know, shuffle off a little bit. And then we've got this one here. Or, could pop it in the centre. Excuse me. Top and bottom. And then use it as a belly band. That would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. I like that idea. So think about that when you're tearing. And then this one, obviously, you can have that as a nice little bottom of the page kind of, you know, embellishment thing. Goodness, I've probably got far too much ephemera for this journal already. Yeah, the same with that one. I've got a few over here that I did earlier. I actually did these in front of the TV. You like it when I give you things you do in front of the TV, don't you, girls? Yes, and boys, sorry. There we are. So here's some I made earlier. And I've actually had time to stitch these. I don't know where I found the time, but I didn't make time to stitch. So I did a little running stitch on that one there. But he's quite cute, isn't he? Oh, Peter. This one is the one I was thinking would be a pocket. So I thought that would be quite nice. And you could have that dangling over the edge if you wanted to. And then something to tuck in there. But I thought that would be quite nice. Quite neat. I've used a wiggly stitch on there because of the flowers. Now, I'd used a zigzag on the first one, this one here, which was very nice and I felt fitted the theme, Mère, daughter. But I wanted a wiggly one on there because I thought with the lace it softened it a bit and with the flower. So, yes, very nice. Pockets, side tucks, clusters, embellishments. Ah, I love them. Stitched, not stitched, doesn't matter. There we are, guys. We managed to get a little tutorial in. I am sorry we missed one yesterday. Couldn't be helped, and I'm sorry for the coughing. Kit is now in our Etsy shop and in our coffee shop. 30% off. Don't forget, there'll be another one out tomorrow with all the tickets in. I might stay up late and finish it tonight. We'll see. Depends how tired I am. And yeah, we're full steam ahead then, guys. So if Beatrix Potter theme hasn't been tickling your fancy up to now, and you're not a shabby chic floral kind of person, you want to go more vintage, this is the one for you. But keep following along with us because I promise I could try and combine the two together. But see how they flow? See how they flow? It was all done at the same time. So that was the kind of ideal in my mind. But yeah, it's going to work. It's going to work. Right, guys, I'm really going to go now. I'm going to let you get on. Don't forget to post your photographs. And any confusion, check out the day on the front of the video. See you tomorrow. Bye.